A is the telecephalon, shown right here. It's this whole area, cerebral cortex area. It's the telecephalon as part of the prosencephalon in the embryological stage. B is the diencephalon, it's right here in the seahorse head. It is also part of the prosencephalon, but it is the diencephalon branch of that. C is, and that's the mesencephalon, and it's in the, D is the metencephalon. The metencephalon is made up of the pons and the cerebellum. C, here's D, metencephalon, I think it's this E, medulla oblongata. And then F is labeled separately, actually, from the metencephalon. F is the cerebellum, right there. So C, D, and E are all the brainstem. From here to here. And that includes the mesencephalon, the pons, and the medulla oblongata, which is the myelencephalon. The rhombencephalon is D, E, and F. So D, E, and F are the rhombencephalon. I don't think we need to know that one though. All right, in the telencephalon, we've got the frontal lobe from here to here. Number 1, fissure, which is the central sulcus. And then this is the, let's see, number 2, where's number 2? Here's number 2, parietal lobe, right here, to this fissure. Here's the occipital lobe, including cerebellum. And then this one is the temporal lobe, right here. Number 3. Let's see. The central sulcus is 5. And that one goes all the way, you know it, because it goes all the way from the mid-sagittal, and it goes all the way down, and it usually connects with the sylvian, or the longitudinal fissure, which is number 6. 7 is the corpus callosum. So here's the corpus callosum. So here's the corpus callosum, and you want to figure out which way it's oriented. Here's the cerebellum, so you know the front is going to be, the front bottom is going to be the rostrum. So it's right here inside kind of a little bit. You can see that. 7A is the rostrum. 7B is the genu. 7C is the body all the way across, and then the last little part at the back is the splenium. Alright, I can't find the number for the fornix, but the fornix is the bot underneath the corpus callosum, and it's a white structure that kind of closes the lateral ventricle area right here. And the other side, I mean, if you look at it, it's kind of like it's right in front of just at the top of above the brainstem, right here. It's like the roof, it's the top of the head of the seahorse for me. Here's the insula on the other side of the seahorse. Actually, if you notice the seahorse, the orientation of him, he goes face forward, rostrally. So he faces nose to where your nose would go to, which is helpful. 13 is the middle cerebral artery, which is like, goes around. So middle cerebral artery goes from right here all around here. And then there's 14, which feeds the middle artery right here, the base of that. And 14 is the internal carotid artery. And then 15 is also branches off the internal carotid artery, but it's more medial, and it is the anterior cerebral artery. Then there's the anterior commissure, which is like the eyeball of the seahorse. Commissure is where things transfer from left to right or right to left hemispheres in the tracts. And then there's the posterior commissure, which is right behind the head at the back of the neck. So anterior commissure, posterior commissure, 17. All right, everything before this was the telencephalon. Now in the diencephalon, we have some other structures. 18 is the internal capsule. Right below it, that's the diamestriatic vein, which I don't think we need to know. 20 is the caudate nucleus, right here, so it's kind of like in the same spot. It's caudate nucleus. The third ventricle with the choroid plexus is right here, which means that the second, I think this is the second the lateral ventricle with the choroid plexus, because I think that red's supposed to be the choroid plexus now. Okay, so the optic nerve is right here. Like the nose of the seahorse, the opposite side of that. This side of it is the optic chiasm. Okay, so the thalamus, you can see the number right up there. It's that round body right there that's held together by this interthalamic adhesion. And then there's the hypothalamus is 28, showing right here. 29 is the mammillary body, right here. It's like the Adam's apple. 30 is the infundibulum. So it looks like that's the lower beak part. It's right above the mammillary body. And 31 is the pituitary gland.